Hey, can your audience still hear from you, learn from you, and even buy from you while you're on poolside with your phone and on Do Not Disturb? Yes. And yes, they can. Today, we're diving into exactly how to stay top of mind with your audience this summer without being glued to your screen, your phone, your whatever. None of that. We don't need it. And we'll talk about more when we return. Hey there, mamas. Welcome back to the Making of a Mompreneur show. I am Rasheeda Green, your host, and I am the creator of the Digi Entrepreneur Academy. I am the founder and CEO of Get Coaching, and I am have the pleasure of hosting the Mompreneur HQ community here on Facebook. And so I'm so excited to have all of you in our community and to be able to talk about something that's so fun. Okay, maybe it's not fun to talk about, it's more fun to do. And that's being a summer CEO in summer CEO mode and visibility, how you can show up without showing up, right? So we're talking about summer CEO mode, how to show up without showing up. If you are ready, make sure you put hashtag ready in the comments. But of course, feel free to put hashtag live if you're watching the show as it's airing, and hashtag replay if you are watching the replay. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from. So if you can drop your city or state or country, let us know so we can get excited about the reach of the mompreneur community. And so, if you don't already know, what we do here at the Mompreneur HQ is we offer coaching, content, and community, as well as the Digi Mompreneur Academy, so that we can help moms who are determined to find time, money, and location freedom to be able to start, grow, and scale those online businesses. I said it with the ES businesses, so that they can do all of these things, achieve their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process. It is such an enjoyable opportunity to be able to support so many. I have had messages sent through my husband for people who have been watching the Mompreneur HQ, either inside the community or through the YouTube and Facebook business page, and saying that they love the content and they're able to glean from it to help their business to grow. That's always warming, always heartfelt, and I appreciate all of you within the community who continue to stick with us and grow with us. And if you are someone who have been impacted by the Mompreneur HQ, the Digi Mompreneur Academy, or any of the programs or courses that we've provided, be sure to let us know. If you're in our community, that means you're a mom entrepreneur and you know how important it is to be able to get that feedback, get those testimonials from people who've actually gone through your programs or used your services or bought your products. It really does help, not only for me as a business owner to know that the work I'm doing is impactful, but also to know that people are doing well and they're doing good. And it's also for people to know that there are people who are watching and who are learning in our community and from the things that we offer here at the Digimompreneur. Without further ado, we're business owners. We know that we need to sell and in order to make money. But the thing is, if you're a mom entrepreneur who's dreaming of unplugging this summer without disappearing from your business, then this episode is really for you. I know it's for me because I plan on taking my vacation. Now, I may not totally unplug, but hey, this is thought and we have a process. So we have the thought, we have the system. All we have to do is switch the flip the switch on. Oh boy, that was toughy. All we have to do is flip the switch on and let it rip. And we're going to talk about how you can do the same. Because being a CEO doesn't mean being chained to your phone, chained to your laptop, or your computer. And just because you need a break doesn't mean that your brand has to go silent. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to ghost your audience because you want to go on vacation. In fact, you can tell them ahead of time, I'm going on vacation. But there may be some hesitancy. You may be thinking, If I'm not constantly posting, I'm going to lose traction. I got to keep going daily. I got to be in it. Will people forget about me if I don't post now, or if I don't send an email? They'll forget all about me. And be like, who's that again? Will my business slow down while I'm slowing down? Let me just stop you right there. Not if you plan it right. Today, we're talking about how to show up without showing up, AKA how to stay visible, stay relevant, and stay connected while you rest, reset, and recharge this summer. And the best part about it, you don't need a team. You don't need to be techie. You just need a plan. We talked about a plan and a system to just switch it on, right? So if you're ready, let's get into it. Drop your hashtag ready. Make sure you have your pencil, paper, digital device so that you can take down some notes so that you can have this summer CEO mode. You can be in summer CEO mode with me. All right. And we're going to start off by talking about what visibility really means for summer CEOs. So, visibility isn't about just being everywhere all the time. It's about being consistent in that your audience can trust even when you're off the grid. Now, I'm not really trying to be off the grid. I'm going to be on the grid. It's just I'm not going to be on business. Although I normally stand on business. You get what I'm saying. Taking a break. So, what does visibility look like for the summer CEO? You might be wondering. Let's go into that. It looks like your audience is seeing value from you on a regular basis. Now, if this is something you're already doing, they may not even miss the fact that you're gone unless you're heavily active in video, live video, going live. But if your audience is used to seeing value from you and you provide that same value while you're not there, okay? If your brand is showing up in their feed, inbox, or timeline without you being live, if you're staying top of mind, even if you're taking time off, that's what summer CEO mode looks like. All of these things are happening. When you do this well, your audience doesn't even realize that you are taking a break because why? Your presence has already been pre-scheduled, pre-planned, and pre-positioned. Doesn't that sound like something easy to do? Getting the plan, planning it ahead of time, getting it all scheduled, and getting it out the door, and still being able to maintain the your presence and visibility with your audience. So instead of ghosting your business this summer, let's talk about how to repurpose and repackage what you've already done so that you can keep momentum in your business. All right, so what does that look like? Repurpose like a pro. Yep. You don't need to create new content every day to be visible. You need to be as strategic as you can with what you already have. So I hope you have your pen, paper. And I told you to have this stuff already at the beginning. This is my mom mode coming out. I done told you to have that stuff ready so that you can take down these good notes. So if you don't have it, go ahead and get it so that we can talk about this 4-part content repurposing system that we're going to drop on you that you can actually use for your summer CEO mode schedule. All right. So this is what I want you to do. If you already put hashtag ready in the comments, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you follow, make sure you subscribe. And hey, if you think you know somebody who can benefit from this information, go ahead and share it. Share the link. Go ahead, hit the share button. Share the link. Let your other friends, because friends don't let friends build their business alone. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there in case somebody was wondering. But yes, we're going to go ahead and get into this 4-part series for content repurposing so that you can remain visible in your business, even when you're actually not there. All right. So I want you to, number one, everybody loves a top 10 or your greatest hits. I want you to go ahead and find your greatest hits. Go ahead and scour your social media and find your most saved Instagram post, your most opened emails, most watched reels, or your most watched YouTube videos, most engaged lives, or most engaged blogs that you have out there on your website. These are going to be your money makers, your gold mines. Anything that resonated before especially if your audience has grown. Now, remember, there may be a pocket of people that have never seen it the first time. So you're repurposing this information, this good stuff, is really going to be the first time that somebody's seen it, and likely the second time, but for somebody else who don't actually remember that they saw it the first time, unless they were taking copious notes that I've asked you to take on this episode. And then they would be able to get that second and be reminded, like, oh my gosh, yes, this was such a great episode, or this was such a great blog, or such a great post. So those are going to be your gold mines. If they were successful, then they might have the same effect the next time. And that's why it's important to keep your data or track your growth, your engagement, so that you have the key pieces to be able to identify what you're going to use to boost or keep visible during the summer when you're actually not there. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is slicing and dicing. That's right, slicing and dicing. I'm not a cook, but I know what slicing and dicing is. So, slicing and dicing, we want to break down big pieces of content into smaller ones. And that's the terminology, a phrase that I would use, because you're really taking something that's a big deal, a big thing, and making it smaller, extending it out to make it longer while you're out, while you're vacationing, laying up on the beach somewhere. You want to turn your long form posts into a 3-part story series. So maybe that's that long post you're going to put out on your stories, and you're going to schedule it or what have you into a 3-part series. Now you have the same one article that you're now turning into 3 story posts. And you can always link it back, the story post, back to the actual blog or long form post where it came from. But the gist is, you want to get people involved and think and really feel like that you're there, and because you're still going to be providing value and giving them insight and helping them with their whatever their need is, or whatever your audience need is. So think about how get that long form post that we talked about, those gold mine items, and pull one of those and break them into 3-part story series. An excellent way to stay visible. Then, if you have a podcast, go ahead and take a podcast episode and pull out 3 quotables for image posts. Now, these are posts that you can put on schedule, on calendar, use Meta Business or whatever service that you use to be able to now take those quotes, make them into Canva images, and post them on your website, on your social media, or wherever you would want to use them, because you could also use them in emails or wherever you want to remain visible while you're vacationing. Now, I do 30-minute mom making of a mompreneur. My episode is 30 minutes long, but what if you could cut a live replay into a 30-second like mic drop reel? Think about it. Those quotable moments that we talked about early in your podcast. What if there was some quotable moment that was really impactful, that was maybe 30-second breakdown of something that was so good, so juicy? Most comments came in on that particular section of the talk. That's the mic drop reel that you want to go ahead and create. 30 seconds and just let it rip. And repurposing really isn't cheating. It's stewarding your content well. It is taking care of the content that you have, managing it in a way that you're able to repurpose and get the best use out of it. Because I'm trying to think, one of the things that those things that you can only use once and then you have to throw away, you're like, some things you only want to use once. Don't get me wrong. But there are some things you're like, oh man, I could have used that again, because you use so little of it, or you didn't expand it, use it to the fullest of its usage. Basically, you just use one piece of it, or and then just wasted it, quote unquote, wasted it. The other part of it, you don't want to do that, especially when it comes to content. Your content is a gold mine. It can become so many different things. If you write a blog, the blog can become a show. If you do a live show, the live show can become, like we said, a mini series. You do a audio recording, it can become a YouTube video short. Why? Because you can have the audio, you put some images across the audio, and now you have a video. So these things are easy tasks. I'm not going to say they're easy, because some of these things to repurpose could be difficult. But if you don't have the skill set to cut up video or pull out audio, but there are things that are definitely doable and doesn't have to take a lot of energy and time. If you pick the thing that you only know how to do, you're fine. And you put it on record or schedule, you're fine. But these are just different ways that you can do that. And another way that I think is very helpful is to then go ahead. The next step is to batch and schedule, right? So now that we've identified those gold mine items, that gold mine content, the next thing you would do then is go ahead and figure out how you can repurpose those things by slicing it and dicing it to make it something smaller that you can stretch out while you're away. Then you want to go ahead and batch and schedule. Now that you have the content, you want to go ahead and schedule it so that it goes live on a point of time when you're not there. So you go live while you go live your life. You get that? And so some of those tools out there are Metricool, which is for all-in-one planning platform. You have Later, you have Flowdesk or MailerLite for your emails. But you really want to just be able to batch your captions, batch your visuals, and your promo links. You can do those ahead of time. So whether it's a flash sale, you can set it and forget it. Literally, flash sale. Here's a product that I have, and we're going to do this on a flash sale. We're going to put this via email. It's going to go, and when you do a flash sale while you're on vacation, all you're going to hear is ping, 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 because these items that you're putting on your flash sale are going to be, now we talked about these statistics and data, are going to be those items that have sold previously. If they sold previously, you might think, oh, that people that's going to buy it already bought it. No, not if your group is growing. If your group is growing, if your Facebook group is growing, if your followers are growing, if your email list is growing, then everybody may not have seen this before. So having a flash sale on an item that is very popular and just scheduling that flash sale is really going to help you out to be able to continue to make money while you are away. And guess what? The fourth thing we want to talk about is mixing evergreen with personality. So evergreen just means that it's something that doesn't get old, right? So if we're talking about, I don't know, say some award show. The award show is the hot thing while it's hot. Once the show is over, a couple of people win or a couple of people lose, and you get some people act up and some people so excited. About a week or so after it's over, right? So you wouldn't want to keep talking about that same thing or using that as a repurpose item, because it's going to be stale by the time you go on vacation. So evergreen products or items are things that have a lasting impression, are topics that are universal, that continue on, are products that are always in demand. So things like that. And it's okay to be able to mix the automated content with a few personal vacation check-ins. That's only if you feel like it. If you want to, even on vacation, you can just drop a little post with your feet, because that's the usual, with your feet crossed from a beach chair with the sand and the water in the front of you as part of the view. That's keeping it simple. Your face is not even in it. And you don't really have to say much, but it just depends on what it is that you're going for. And so that's what I mean by vacation, adding in a little vacation personality to your evergreen stuff. Because yes, these things are happening while you're being visible without being visible. You're showing up without showing up. And so that's something that you're going to schedule, that you're going to keep going while you're on vacation. But if you wanted to throw in something that was actually personal or live to give that feeling that you're actually still there with them, you most certainly can go ahead and do that. And it's really up to you. It could be a simple photo of you reading a book, you on the beach, you journaling, or just enjoying some time with your family. That's another one. You're walking with your camera and you take a picture of the family walking in front of you as you're walking behind them. That really is special. It's emotional, it builds trust without you having to perform or show up and do dances on TikTok, even though we know that TikTok is not just for dances anymore. But you don't have to do all of that when it comes to repurposing like a pro. All right, now we're going to move on to the next thing that you want to do, and that's to stay top of mind while you are offline. All right, so we want to talk about how you can stay memorable while you're actually resting and getting recharged. Now, here are some simple ways you can keep your audience connected to your brand without you being live every day. You can use your recurring value content. That's going to be your weekly tips, right? If you're in the Mompreneur HQ community, we do daily posts, and we used to have daily theme, so to speak. So it would be Motivational Monday, Tip Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, things like that. So you can pre-schedule your tip of the week post if you want, or daily if you already have that cadence going. Also, when it comes to email nurture series, you can create one of those to build possibly a 3 email summer tips or vacation CEO series, right? We're talking about the summer CEO mode. So you might want to do your own vacation CEO series that you can put in your email newsletter or something to that effect. Then we have Evergreen Reels. Now you can create 3 to 5 pre-recorded videos with timeless advice. Okay. Don't put no date stamps on it. Don't say anything about you being out on vacation. These are evergreen reels. They can play at any time. So if you go on vacation, if you have an emergency, if it's Christmas and you just don't feel like it, if it's your birthday and you don't want to be engaged, you want to be offline, whatever the case is, evergreen means it's timeless. It's for any time. And you can actually pre-record these videos at whatever time into your scheduler as you are. Said 3 to 5, but you can do one. If it's 1 week, 2 weeks, just so we can have a mixture of content so that people can still get value from you and feel like, hey, this girl is hooking me up with some good information and not even notice that you're not fully engaged. Now, we have another suggestion would be to pin your key content. Right. So if we talked about the statistics and the data, there is some social media posts that have really been getting good feedback and commentary, then you may want to go ahead and pin that to the top of your social media. If you know that you have an offer or freebie that's already on an evergreen system that doesn't require you to do anything, you wouldn't say, okay, sign up for this one-on-one. You're not available, ma'am. Just go ahead and pin your top offer or that lead magnet that you had. You can go ahead and pin that to your Instagram profile so that when people find you on Instagram, they can still look to get your offer information or a freebie while you are away. Then another one you can do is you can pin a post to your Facebook group with your summer hours if your hours are just changing, or how to work with me information. You can pin that to the top. And so people will know, oh, these are some things that she's offering, some things she's doing. Let me go ahead and sign up or whatever the case may be. And again, of course, if you're using something like Calendly or something like that, make sure you're blocking off the time so that you don't have people booking you and you're on vacation and you forget, or you just don't show up. Yeah, none of that's a good look. And that's happened to me. That's happened to me. That's why I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not a good look when you're on vacation and you look at your calendar and see that somebody's booked a clarity call and you forgot to turn off the calendar so that you would not have to work during your vacation. I'm just talking from experience. So don't do it. Just go ahead and get in there. One of the things you could also do is create a highlight on IG called Summer Mode, and you can call it CEO Break. Okay. And this shows that your business still serves while you're away. And it also encourages others to remember that you are a human being. You are a person that needs a break, just like everybody else. It helps them and it helps you. Another thing is to point people to passive paths. So we talked about how you can send people to a freebie or your offer. We want to make sure that it's a passive, something that does not require you to be there. That's what I talked about, that one-on-one. Don't do that because that's not passive. That freebie that leads to your email list. You can grow your list while you're on vacation. Mini course or a product that's available for purchase on your website or on in any of your digital stores. That's what something that doesn't require your presence. A blog post or a video vault that they can go and binge watch your content while you're offline. These are things that I would consider to be passive paths, and that's what you want to do in directing your people to go to. Because you want to remember that people want to feel connected to you, but not constantly pitched to. So if you build that connection before you break, then your business can really breathe while you do. So, just to recap, summer CEO mode, how to show up without showing up. We're going to say you don't need to be online 24/7 to be visible. Repurposing is your summer superpower. Chop it up, slice and dice. That's what we said, slice and dice. Slice up those bigger long form posts and make them smaller, and that way you can spread it out. The same content spread out. And with the right tools and content strategy, you can stay at top of mind while you are off the clock. So, if you are going on vacation, let your people know you're going on vacation. If you're going on break, if it's that type of environment. But if you want to show up without showing up and not even feel like you're being missed, even though you are, go ahead and be invisible while your business is visible. And so that's what we were talking about with all the content and the slicing and dicing and really repurposing like a pro, because we want you to be able to still have your business, run your business, and do all of the things and still be profitable and not be stressed out because you have all of this guilt for not starting, not working in your business. You're not meant to do that 24/7. I want you to go ahead and exhale. And if you're interested in checking out the Digi Entrepreneur Academy, go ahead and do that too. We would love to have you in there. We do a whole bunch of courses, content, video trainings, documents, templates, social media graphics, captions. It's a lot going on in the Digi Entrepreneur Academy, which, if you weren't checking us out, you would already know that we was on fire. So thank you for joining us for this episode of the Making of a Mompreneur Show, where we're talking about summer CEO mode and how to show up without showing up. If you enjoyed this show, again, please comment or subscribe and share this episode with one of your business besties so that we can all grow together. Until next time.